Every Friday, they give you a chance to take the mic, to have basically Western Canada hear what you need to say, what you need to get off your chest. Presented by Local Environmental, it's a tradition we call Trash Talk! Yeah, that's right. Verna writes in kind words. I love this email, but she says, Ryan, I congratulate you on your successful media enterprise. Your informative guests and pertinent facts have never been more needed in our province. She says, I sincerely appreciated the informative interview with Professor Bratt regarding the legal implications of the possible contact of the Premier's office with prosecutors, but I was shocked and extremely disappointed to hear you using the F word in full, at least on 2 sentences, and I quit listening at that point, and I've not tuned in since. It should go without saying that such words are not acceptable in general society. I consider such language to be disrespectful and a personal affront, even an irritant and a pollutant to my audio space. She says, I would be interested to know what segment of society you're seeking to reach with such language and senseless banter. That from Verna. I'm going to keep it classy in my response and just thank you for your email. Lorraine says, the city of Edmonton has been in business for 100 years. You'd think by now they would have figured out snow removal. Here's the deal. We get snow from October to April, so why is there a problem every year? Now, we're not world leaders in snow removal, but we should be. Every single northern community should look at Edmonton for expertise in snow management. With all the high-priced help under the pyramid, why do the citizens of Edmonton have such shitty road conditions? We have snow. Someone figure it out once and for all. That from Lorraine. How about this one from Caouette, who writes in and says, Jespo, I cannot figure out why people care for, let alone have sympathy for a family that historically has literally seen itself as above all of us. The Royals can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. I'm supposed to feel bad for a spoiled brat who married a supermodel, is wealthy beyond anything I'll ever know, and wouldn't know the real world if it kicked him in his entitled ass? Give me a break. Normal people have family drama, but you know what else normal people have to deal with? Reality. Paying rent, juggling kids, school, work, childcare, a heap of problems that neither of those two half-wits would ever have to deal with in their entire life. What a look-at-me spectacle they've created. Seriously, none of their problems matter to everyday people. All of them, including those who married into this medieval spectacle, should shut their mouths and patiently wait to fade off into history. I don't find any of them, spouses included, inspiring. To me, they're an embarrassing remnant of a past that no longer matters. That from Caouette. Preach! How about this one from Rob, who says, Jespo, I think that this whole Danielle Smith prosecutor CBC story plays really well for the Premier's base, the vast majority of whom believe that the only purpose served by the CBC is to be Trudeau and Notley's lying mouthpiece. For the entire rest of the rational world who actually knows a thing about journalistic ethics and how comprehensively they're governed, it would be virtually impossible for the CBC to publish a story like this without verifying their source as well as the validity thereof. It is, in fact, even more brutally difficult for the CBC to go through such a verification process if the source chooses to remain anonymous. This is why we have public servants running our own Crown Press agency instead of politicians doing it. We've already seen what happens when politicians start soapboxing and professing to be superior reporters to those at the CBC. Fired up again! Signs off, Rob. And we'll close with this from Karen, a.k.a. Raging Granny. I love it, Karen. She says, really, Charles Adler? You missed the mark on Monday's show when your comments about Pierre Poilievre's rant were about the unprofessional production of it. You had nothing to say about the 3 minutes of hate-filled and inaccuracy that he hurled at the Prime Minister. He blamed Trudeau for his flight being delayed because he's in charge of, transportation in Canada? And we wonder why Trudeau is swarmed at a restaurant in Hamilton? His followers hear this from him daily. If Poilievre was commenting on federal government policy, that would be one thing, but this was hate speech against the Prime Minister. You and Jespo had the opportunity to call it out, and you didn't. Maybe you need to listen to it again. That from Raging Granny. I'll tell you what, Karen, I'll put that in front of Chuck when he's back on Monday.